toward gambling. And there are proposals out there to bring casino gambling to the Buckeye State. Ohio Senator George Voinovich believes this is a bad idea, and he joins us now. Senator, it's Brian Sullivan. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Oh, thank you, Brian. I'm glad you're asking about it, because I'm sure that your viewers are a little shocked to hear that we're talking about amending the Ohio Constitution to provide a monopoly for two owners for the construction of 4 casinos in the state of Ohio. And one of the things I'm sure they'd also be interested in is we're getting ripped off in terms of the cost of a license and the money that comes back to the state. For example, in the Constitution, they provide $50 million for a license, as compared to, say, Indiana, where they just issued 2 licenses for $250 million, and that was just for slot machines, not a casino. And then, of course, our neighboring state, Pennsylvania, is taking 55% off the top. In Ohio, all we're going to get is 33%. So it's a pretty sweetheart deal for the people that are trying to promote this constitutional amendment. And by the way, if anyone else wants to get into business, they're going to have to amend the Ohio Constitution.
Well, would you be more in favor of the idea if those contracts were opened up and if the fee structure was increased?
Frankly, I'm not supportive of gambling as a way to raise money for the state or local communities, because I have found, as a former mayor of the city of Cleveland and the governor of Ohio, that for every dollar that you take in terms of gambling proceeds, you develop $3 more worth of social welfare costs that have to be picked up by the state. On the other hand, I think if we wanted to do it right, the legislature should do the same thing they did in Pennsylvania, put out a competitive bid, get the best deal that you can get. I'd still be opposed to it, but the fact of the matter is, at least I'd know that our state is not getting shortchanged.
I believe polls from some Columbus newspapers showing that people actually tend to favor it, or are those polls being selectively administered by the people that are in favor of the plan?
Well, I don't know. I can't comment on that. All I know is that we've had something like this on the ballot 4 times since 1990, and the polls always show that it looks like it's going to pass, and then at the end, when people pay attention, you know how that is, they start to pay attention the last couple of days and go into the polls, that we've been able to be successful in defeating it.
Do you well, this is a broader question then, Senator. Do you believe that gambling, because listen, so many states now, I think all states but 2 have some kind of legalized gambling. Do you believe gambling creates wealth, or does it just transfer money around?
There's no question in my mind that it transfers money around. And one of the things that I think that we're trying to point out is that when Detroit went to casino gambling, that instead of there getting a bunch of folks coming over from Windsor who had gambling before Windsor, Ontario, or for people coming in, that were in Michigan, not going out of Michigan, that what they did is they created a whole new market of people, and about 90% of the people that go to the casinos in Detroit are people who live in Wayne County and the surrounding areas. In other words, really what they're doing is they're creating another market for gambling where one doesn't exist today.
Off topic, but highly important, Senator, what's the status on health care? Do you believe that a bill with a public option will pass the Senate?
No, I don't. I think that the whole proposal is in trouble today because the American people, I call it the undertow, are really concerned about the costs of the package and what it will do to our national debt and also to our ability to balance our budgets. Folks right now are cutting back. They realize they've been on a binge the last several years. They're cutting back. They're buying less on credit. And what they're doing is they're asking themselves, what in the world is the federal government doing? Most states, as you know, are cutting expenses and increasing taxes. And we're going into programs that are going to add to the cost of health care in this country for those people that have it.
Well, Senator, we got to leave it there, but we do appreciate your time today. Thank you very much for joining us.
Well, thank you very much. I'm glad I had a chance to talk with you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Senator George Voinovich of Ohio. All right, the president putting in $3.4 billion in federal stimulus grants toward the nation's power grid. A key player in his push for clean energy is solar.